Unlock your potential with a comprehensive suite of investing tools and expert education with GammaEdge. Start your free 14-day trial today.
Just working with a bunch of students and helping people here at GammaEdge and doing one-on-one stuff, I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to find, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but you're trying to find the golden goose within like a whole lot of mallard ducks. And I don't know if that makes sense. I know you like my isms, but there's never going to be one holy grail, and you know this, everybody knows this on here, and hate to burst everybody's bubble. There's never going to be one holy grail in trading. Never, ever, right? And all of this, Taylor's mosaic, I think, is a good picture of how it fits together. But usually when I hear people ask your question, they're trying to search for what kind of trader they're going to be. And they're still in that search mode of trading of, am I going to be a 0DT trader? Am I going to be a swing only trader? Am I going to be a long-term trader? Am I going to try to do all three? Am I going to trade SPX, ES? Am I going to trade liquidity stocks? So for me, when somebody asks me this, because I get this question all the time, they're still searching for the trader they want to be. So I think that comes down to self-reflection and deciding exactly what you want to trade. You cannot trade everything here at GammaEdge. It is impossible. And again, I hate to say that because then it puts us saying, hey, well, you can only do this, this, and this. But you have to pick what fits your lifestyle, your personality, and what you're comfortable with trading. And are you going to be butt in the seat? Are you going to be, I'm going to check in every 30 minutes? Am I just going to be long only portfolio, P-trans to PGX? I'm just going to do everything at night, and I'm going to be okay with the gains that we've shown back tested, 2 to 3% average per trade, winners, 70% winners, 30% losers, and I'm just going to go about my day and do other things, right? So I guess that's where I'm coming at. I could give you exactly how I do everything. Paul gives you exactly how they do everything, but these are just models of how people look at the data. What I see, actually Taylor was great, his smooth brain, what he sees is usually something different than what Paul sees, right? Now, we're all on the same page about market structure and how everything works together, but I'm a visual learner. Like, I could not process any data that you could ever imagine. You could see from our conversation today when people are talking about the 10-year yield, 10-year bond auction. I have no freaking clue how any of that stuff can affect the market, or do I want to know? Because I've found my success in being a simple, understanding price action trader, and then I've came to GammaEdge and then I've added the gamma levels on. And I think Jim said this really well. He said, well, are they pivot points? Or he mentioned pivot points. They are pivot points, but understanding why price is reacting there. I could throw all this stuff on the chart before because I was a price only trader and I did very well trading these levels, but I'm like, well, price is reacting here. I have no idea why, but now I kind of know the why. So I know this is a long answer, but it's a very open-ended question. There's multiple facets and multiple tools here at GammaEdge that I think you can put together. You just have to pick which ones you have confidence in. P-trans to PGX, I have embraced that wholeheartedly. I am 100% in it because it's data-driven. It takes the emotion out of trading. It's very easily mechanically executable for any trader. The problem comes in is when you try to outsmart the system. When you outsmart the system, you change the distributions, and then that's where the losers come in. So that would be my long-only portfolio. Michael asked me today, I was still trading Lily intraday. He said, well, didn't you close it out? I said, I did close it out in the P-trans to PGX portfolio, but I was still trading Lily intraday as a swing trade also. So this is where that open-ended question comes in, where you have to figure out what type of trader are you going to be, and can you compartmentalize the P-trans to PGX portfolio, which I don't even look at those intraday. I do. I'm like, oh, well, that one's above PGX. I might have to close that one at 4 or 7 or 9 a.m. tomorrow, next day. But I don't look at those. I could care less what those are doing in that portfolio. So I think this is where this whole thing comes in. For me, everything starts with the tick. I know you hear us talk about it, but everything starts with the tick. It is the sentiment. I said this today. I was kind of being sarcastic. I hopefully didn't, get people riled up. But are there more buyers than sellers? The tick is the instantaneous indicator that tells me, are there more people buying or selling at that moment and at the trend? That's all I need to know, right? I mean, if you read any of the profile stuff, if you read Jim Dalton, you listen to any of that stuff, it's an open auction, right? I mean, it's an open auction. There are two people coming to the table. Yes, we have dealers and whatever else, but there's it's still the same philosophy. Are there more buyers than sellers? And I'll tell you right now, looking at the tick, I'm not too keen on the last 3 to 4 days of the new lows still outpacing new highs. Like, that is not very comfortable to me for a sustained move up. So I would be looking at that in a very suspective, understanding that this may not be a sustained move up, and we might be coming to a point where, we may not move up any further. So that would be the tick market model that I would look at. So again, I don't want to wrap this up. I've been talking too long. But so I start with the tick because you have to have some basis to get your bearings about what's going in the market. So the tick is my basis. And then the next thing I would move to is, this is exactly what Taylor said, are we put or call dominated, above and below spot price? There is no possible way we can move up in the market unless we have out of the money calls coming in, speculative people buying those out of the money puts at the 20, 30, 40, 50 delta. We cannot move up in the market. Absolutely. No way. We can move up from puts closing, but we cannot have a sustained move up unless we see out of the money call speculators come into the market. That's the only way this can happen. Consequently, that would lead to buying, right? So that's the only way. So those are the two main things I look at. And then I kind of, formulate my thesis from there. It's because what I said today, SPY was pulling back, and I say every morning, if we're call dominated, I'm looking to get long the market. If we're call dominated, I'm looking to get long the market unless the tick is completely falling apart. Because we're in the money now, the money call dominated. That is a supportive type environment. So why would you try to short that environment? I get we can short 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But you saw exactly what happened today. We pulled down to 0 gex, call dominated environment. It's supportive, and we ran all the way back up to the highs, right? So anyway, long run, open-ended, but I think and I'm not saying this in a bad way to you or pointing you out or calling you out. I think you need to decide what type of trader you want to be if you haven't, and maybe you have. Maybe you've been trading for a long time. I really don't know your background, even though we talk back and forth. So hone in on one type of thing and execute it exceptionally well over and over and over. My thing is I do base hits over and over and over. Occasionally I get on base to get a double, and then sometimes I get a home run like I did with Lily, which they had news come out, and that was just a squirrel finding a nut, and it worked out. But if you can base hit, I would rather have 20 base hits where I would make 2% than trying to hold for one home run and then understanding kind of the whole market structure. So anyway, that's just my diatribe dialogue there. So hopefully that helps. I'll be happy to talk with you one-on-one, either Paul or I or Taylor. But that's how I trade. That was
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like being open about how we trade here, and that's what I think makes our community way different than anybody out there. So if you're new here, I appreciate everybody being here. I know Paul and Taylor do. We got some exciting tools coming, but we're traders in the trenches with you guys and gals. We make the same mistakes. We do the same stupid stuff. Hopefully
we're in the arena.
What'd you say?
We're in the arena.
Testing things.
Yeah.
Okay, Chamath.
Yeah, exactly. But I've honed my trading after 20 years down to about 3 or 4 things, and that's all I focus on. And do I trade 0 DT, SPY options intraday? Yeah, but is that my bread and butter? Absolutely not. Do I make money on it? Maybe a little bit, but that's not my bread and butter. That's not the type of trader I am or who I want to be. Taylor is exploring this. He's only been doing it 2 or 3 years. I have a feeling he will probably progress to where he's a longer time frame. Probably progress that out, because we all start wanting that dopamine and this. We're gonna, get our Lambos and houses in Vail, and we're gonna fly on our private jets. That's what everybody sees right now, unfortunately, on YouTube. But that's not reality. So anyway, yeah. Sorry.
I feel personally attacked now.
Me too.
I see so many people that just are, still struggle with trading, and I hate it. I want to help everybody if I can, but you can't. But I think you have to figure out who you want to be and what you want to do, and pick one thing and get very good at that one thing, right? I mean, it's the Chuck Norris deal, right? I don't fear a man, that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear a man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times, right? So just do the same thing over and over and over, and don't deviate.